where they were settled kind of took us a little bit of time. Then secondly, on School Road, we also had, we have a Kabul, a burial ground for Muslims. And some of the bodies were in the road, and we resolved that conflict by involving the City Development Forum, and also in the forum we had the religious leaders, including Muslims. So from that direction, they were able to help us with the Muslim Supreme Council to remove those bodies. The other challenge that we had was of our sister project, which was implemented by National Water. Their pipes were intertwined within the roads, so somehow it delayed the implementation. But somehow, because of the stakeholder engagements we had with National Water, they were able to realign them and give way for the contractor to do their works. And another challenge that we had on the road, of course, was because of the pubs, some pubs who were on the road, we had issues in court, but also they were settled accordingly. At the moment, for Go Down Road, we are at 95% implementation. We water weights for completion at the solar lights and road marking. Thank you.
What about the issues of the Go Down Road, where the petrol station is?
For the equipments to finish the works in Kulu so that they can handle that small stretch.
They've been notified that the way is clear.
Yeah, they have.
Because we interacted with the management of the petrol station yesterday, but then they said they already left the way. They have no problem.
Yes, they have.
Okay. Can I also seek clarification from you, Honorable Minister, through you? You said lighting is still on process. I wanted to know from you, CTO, yesterday, after our meeting, I took time to drive all over the roads of the city. Midnight found me touring the city. The only road I found had solar lights is that last road. What's the name of that road? The last one. Via Oli Health Center. Arua Road. That's the only road which has lights. I came inside this Go Down Road, there were no lights. I drove via this road, via military, there was no light. I came inside, I drove all over. All your roads have no street lights. Are you still working on the street lights, according to your information? But also, when His Excellency was here in April this year, all these lights were on. So does it mean when His Excellency is here, or when somebody from government in big office comes, you put lights on. When they go back, lights all go off. If this evening we can, the Honorable Minister, if you can permit, we drive all these roads and in fact it's all done. So CEO, what can you say about that? Lastly, you say these stakeholders like National Water, when RECO sorted you. But I got information that this same engineer, Anton, was causing complications, making life difficult for the contractor, which actually delayed the progress of the work by, I think, overcharging for some of those things to be relocated, or he demanded that that money be channeled through some account. Can you throw more light on that? Because I also got the wind of that thing.
Thank you so much. About the solar lights, actually in our engagement countrywide, there has been a wide concern about solar installations. One, with the way that the solars had been installed before. Because previously...
I'm leaving Honorable for Central Division. I'm still going out briefly for interviews.
Thank you. It was discovered that previously when the solars were installed underground, because of the amount of heat and pressure, they would burst. So another revision, another study was done to install these solars up on the panels. Even then, with the installations of these solars, it's still being discovered that these solars are not lighting up the way we required. So we also reported to the Secretariat about the solar lighting, and the study is being done. Part one, to standardize the procurements of solar lighting, and then secondly, to also alternate solar lighting with the national grid power. So about solar lighting, there's already a study going on. It's not only in Arua, it's everywhere. The solars are going on. But also, in our meetings in TPC, this was one thing of concern to us, and the meeting had requested the department.
Madam CPO, I am just from Barara 3 days ago. All the lights in Barara city streets are on. In Gulu, all the lights are on. In Jinza, my council has just paid exchange visit there. The lights were on. What are the solars of Arua unique, or what is the issue? I'm just from Barara. And these are the same solar panels.
Maybe we need to also, just like I said, we are under cluster. The contractor who works on Arua is the same working in Gulu and the same working in Kitgum. So maybe we'll also need to request them on what is happening elsewhere so that we can also work on our specifications accordingly. But about solars, that has been our challenge. Then about relocation, relocation of utilities have been the work of, in the past program of rehabilitation of School Road and Arua Road. Yes, it does. Yes. That is maybe a question for an engineer to respond to. Because one, in the contract document, there are specifications which are normally done in relation to engineering. But for what we have done, for the previous projects, we realized that because our solar cells were mounted underground, that's why we are having challenges of bursting out of the batteries. So we are changing out on how they should be mounted. We hope they'll be able to work better.
Is that process being worked on now? Without one member family, also all very clear around this city. Most places are completely dark. Dark.
And you see the solar
And,
panels there.
and yet you are talking of Gulu. Gulu, I'm just from Gulu a week ago. Gulu is well lit. Two, Honorable, the roads here are very funny. They are not interlinked. You drive, the road ends there, you have to come back. You cannot connect. The planning was very poor. We must reverse the trend using this means. So I don't know if you are working on it because we need this city lit. And this should be a priority, Honorable Minister. It must be a priority. We cannot operate this city in darkness. In the 21st century, no.
No. There's another clarification there. The stick of Supervision.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, currently in Arua City Central Division, there are only two streets with the lights. One is the Avenue Road, which starts from the roundabout and ends around the hospital, and then the Weatherhead Park Lane. But these ones are directly connected under Wenereko. The one of Weatherhead Park Lane, it is Central Division Council putting the bills. And then from Avenue Road, from the roundabout to the hospital, is the CSR by Wenereko, Corporate Social Responsibility by Wenereko for a period of 6 months. After a period of 6 months is when Council, Central Division will also start paying. Now, Honorable Minister, I want you to interest yourself. One, as the councillors, as leaders, we are not involved in the supervision of youth projects. Even when we ask for documents of some of these projects, because there are questions to ask. One, why would a consultancy fee go for about 1.7 billion? I think you need to interest yourself in the costing of some of these projects and the consultancy services that are offered. Number two, the quality of the materials. I want to bring to your attention School Road, which connects to Arua Road. Part of the road goes following on Tuparaka Road. It ends about 1 kilometer. In some of the tunnels that have been built, one time it found me around a truck climbed in some of the tunnels and the things were just falling. So there is a question to ask about the quality of the materials that have been used vis-a-vis the project costing. These are very serious matters. That is why the solar panels on Enyao Road only lived for 6 months and they are completely dead. And the ones, even Honorable Member of Parliament has been praising on Arua Road, are already dying. Half of them are already dying, even before commissioning. The other time, Honorable Member, we were with you for visiting, trying to do site visits and so on. I think we found there were a lot of irregularities and there were even no proper documents. So we are handling, these are government funds and we really need to do justice and do the rightful thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Member of Central Division, who is in for the Minister. Just on Golden Road, I wanted to get clarification or probably information on the stretch from Abiriambati here. Okay? From Abiriambati Church, where is for sale Chapel. That road, City Mayor is there. Your worship, I counted the request for your interest here. City Mayor, you are aware that stretch is supposed to be worked upon. Abiriambati, Chapel, that Chapel area. This road that is supposed to pass and it joins Idi Amin Road. You were there one time, but the first time when they involved us as Central Division, that was the first time they involved us. Because all this time, we see people going to inspect, go down the road. We even don't know what's happening, and that it is in our division, but that is another story. I wanted to know, Madam talked about works being at 95%. When is that road going to be worked upon? Because we resolved with you that the people there should move, people accepted to move. So what is going to happen if works at 95%? Is that road going to be open? Because if they will work on it and have it lit, I think it will change the face of that area. Thank you very much.
Another one? Yes, give to that one.
My name is Aidala Samar. I have a concern. There's a new open road in Mangwa, that is in Kenya. The road is called Kasindo Road. And we have found during urban cast project, when the community were working on that road to maintain it, somebody came with the complaint that the road has passed into his plot. And we found that the plot has been given a title that is on the road, which means the government has used a lot of money to open a road there, and at last it is been blocked by somebody. And that person is claiming that he has a title. So I wanted to know, of course, when they were opening this road, that person had no title. And after the road was opened and again was given a title. So it is setting confusions there. I wanted some clarification on that.
Yeah, that should be the last one so that the CDO can respond. But this last question, I don't think is the CDO. The CDO is on Usmin Roads. The other one will need the town clerk and the engineer and the physical planner to respond. So maybe we have a new engineer who may not know about this road opened, and maybe DC will say something on that. Road opening conflicting with the existing structure which has a title. We will go deeper to find out when was this title issued and vis-a-vis the opening of the road. So I want to raise yours.
Thank you very much. Actually, what the RCC said here happened to me, because when you move on this road, that's why the road ended. Anyhow, you don't know whether there is authority or there is no authority. Why I am saying so is there is a road in the Bazaar Road that connects Metino, that access road that connects Metino, and it comes like this to Zebra. And the other one passes like this to former Bank of Uganda. Down it joins the hospital road, and the subsequent joins what? Is it former UCB cooperative bank? That former cooperative bank subsequently joins Wadif Road. That access road is being blocked deliberately, we don't know by who. And when we went on ground, people have been telling us that the road is replanned. Is there a replanning minute? Who replanned? These are the questions that I really wanted the authorities to give us vis-a-vis. And I also want to communicate with something contrary to road. One, we are deliberating here about the issue of tax pack. As we speak right now, there is a presumed landlord who has gone behind there, is locking tenants' door right now. It has happened right now. And in the presence of the city auditor is there supporting the so-called landlord is on the ground. I don't know, because this is information that the people of the tax pack has just called, and I think we need to share. It's very important for us to this tax pack. And it is a very contentious issue, and as we talk right now, the door is already locked. The door is already locked with the head of the LC of the area and the city internal auditor. I don't know who he is. This is the information given on ground by the LC. So as government here is deliberating on certain issues, there's another government also there doing the work, meaning that the government there is undermining the presence of the minister. Yeah, but you, they told me you. The city internal auditor, if it is you, but they told me you. Maybe the former one, this is the communication taxing problem. But as we have moved to go back on ground, we will find out who actually the city auditor is.
But from yesterday, I know that we have a new auditor who is here. Just yesterday and today, so maybe
all of us are
that
here.
is the other auditor for the other government, so we shall find out.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You bring the mic to the MP.
I already notified the minister about. Okay, let them be raised.
Chair, time is of very great essence. For any government activity, there should be a timeline for what we do and when we stop doing it. We may not be proceeding well to continue to discuss issues we resolve on. Because the issues which were discussed here, and the resolutions were passed, that the RSC should happen. So I would like to request procedurally, let us not backtrack to those issues. That's one. Two, the streets are categorized. There are streets where works were done and the defect liability period has passed. And therefore, it is now a duty of the city council to maintain those street lights. I would wish we put those ones in a different category, so that we give whoever is responsible time to clarify on the ongoing projects whose completions have not been completed and they are not commissioned, so that we don't waste a lot of time dealing with the issues that are not of essence for this city. Thank you.
I think that's a very good procedural matter my colleague has raised, because the chairman to Kenya was talking about a road which has been open. We are on Usumi roads, so let's not divert. I would just want to request the CDO now to respond on these issues raised, starting from the one the RCC raised. And while we are doing this, honorable colleague, the minister is handling something. He's talking to the media and other things said within a few minutes. We should handle this issue of the Usumi as it comes and we move to the field. So we are just waiting for the honorable minister to come. But the CDO, Madam Judith, before you come in, I wanted also to raise your attention that road stretch from Metino to the market. As you go from former back here, you leave the road which continues to the house, branch to the market. That stretch I thought was part of, because it leads to the market, and that's where His Excellency is coming to. I thought that is that component. That too is the road behind Finca, which also comes in front of Motel to join this one from Metino. I've not seen them being done. I don't know if those are the components under Usumi for works. So you will respond on all these. Thank you.
A small one. Yeah. To the town clerk. I'm just thinking aloud as to how the CDO becomes in charge or in charge of Usumi projects. You know, they handle the application of roads. I thought it needed somebody with the technical know-how how to handle road works. I feel that God, you should answer this and satisfy me, because you are violating the rights of that CDO. Sincerely. Thank you.
Speaking from what NSC said, remember the question the councillor raised that they have not been involved in the supervision and the management of the Usumi works. I am sure even the city mayor may not be involved in this supervision. One time I bumped into the supervision, you the CTO was with you in the field. I bumped into you and I didn't find my division man. When I called him that we are in your division, where are you? The division mayor told me he was not also informed and he was not notified. So this brings me back to the question the RCC is raising. TC, why would you want that section only to handle? Yet this is a very big project. The city mayor needed to be involved. The office of RCC needs to be involved. MPs and local leaders, the councils need to be involved, because this is our project. So I'm trying to respond to that properly. Thank you.
the representative of the Honorable Minister. Let me begin with the concern of the RCC. Now, RCC, you rightly put it. What happens? There is an operational manual by the World Bank. This operational manual was given in 2019, but there's another operational manual which was presented in 2015. In selection of the focal point persons, the prerogative is left to the town clerk, but with the technical parameters. One, the function of the focal point person is to coordinate. Just like I am here as a town clerk, you coordinate. Now, the role of the coordinator is one, to get information from the engineer. You compile physical progress reports to submit to the Ministry of Lands where the project support team is. So your role is mainly to send those progress reports and to coordinate and see how the project is moving forward. She doesn't make certificates. She doesn't make certificates which are technical in nature. But now you realize that if we had had a focal point person who is an engineer, even he wouldn't have presented this. Because this, you must one, be able to even share with the World Bank officials when they have come. You present.
So who makes the certificate?
The certificate, the engineer has that document for making the IPCs.
The city engineer?
Yeah, the city engineer. Then
and he makes it when he's not involved in the supervision?
No, the rest of the activities like supervision, the stakeholder meetings, he's involved. He is only limited to that technical part and where they are concerned with either meetings, site meetings, and stuff like that. But mainly, he involves himself in the site meeting, which is so technical, where the consultants present, the contractor presents. Then we have the stakeholders meeting, where you have now, like, for instance, the division, you have the RCC. I think the last stakeholders meeting took place in July. And the office of the RCC is supposed to be there. And I hope which was represented.
Yeah, that meeting.
Which other meeting? Okay, so okay, she's telling you it's a town clerk, but also we did. But what we're going to do going forward, she was telling me that as a new RCC.
You see the RCC is even in a big song. Okay. You involve the RCC, you involve the engineer, and the meeting is chaired by the CTO. I don't know. I don't see the issues of protocol. You see.
What we do, it is actually the office of the town clerk which does it. Normally, they handles that part. But honorable, going forward for the issue of the division, I've shared with her, and I wanted her to respond to that because it is very, very paramount. Because most of these projects which took place actually in the same division, and they have respect. So we kind of talk about it.
Before you come in, there's a concern here.
I want to be informed that the USMID focal person can also briefly talk about the USMID capacity building grants. What do you tell us about the capacity building grants? Have you built the capacity of some people because there's a grant under that? What has that money done in the city? Will you throw more light on that? Thank you.
Thank you so much, representative of the minister. Maybe before I go on with the responses, I would like to invite the engineer to throw more light.
Engineer, are you competent enough to throw light on the questions raised? Because you have not been here. It is the CTO who has been inspecting these works of USUMI with the team that she has. And the questions raised were directed to her. Now for you want to wear the yoke of somebody Are you just going to use your experience of performance? I would have believed, which competence does this? So let me hear from you. Maybe you are guided technically as far as.
Thank you, the representative of the Honorable Minister. Well, there are cross-cutting issues like the street lines that you mentioned of Gulu, which is in the same cluster, which I supervise. So I thought it would be helpful to give us some insight. Then number two, there's question of quality controls, which I also supervise, but this is being handled by the same consultant, the same cluster. So I thought maybe for the meeting. But if in your wisdom, maybe you feel how to surrender the mic, I can do that. Okay, thank you for allowing me to say a few comments. One, to start with the street lines. We are in the same cluster with Gulu, Kitgum, and Arua, and I was the contract manager for Kitgum. So I think I have some comments I can make that is helpful for the meeting. Number one, the street lights were implemented in Gulu through different projects to start with. And different projects had different designs and specifications. And therefore they perform differently. The same problem you have in Arua is in Gulu. Many street lights have failed for reasons that the CTO explained in terms of their design, in terms of the installations. The current street lights that are being installed took into account performance of the previous street lights. And that's where in Gulu, when the RCC says it was in Gulu, I would agree with that because in the current project, all the street lights are working.
That's another project, not the
Yes.
one that has.
Yes. The second issue is about which road maybe you could have gone to, because there are roads under the previous use meet and there are roads under the current use meet. So there's a lot in terms of the establishment, location, and performance. But the answer is clear. There's a study being done across the country to be able to establish the performances of the street lights. This will inform standardization that will benefit future upcoming projects. However, for Arua, what our plan is to do a comprehensive inventory of all the street lights in the city with clarity of where they are, in clarity of which projects implemented them, with clarity of their performance. So in the subsequent meeting will be very clear in terms of what is not working, where and why. So this is the commitment I'm giving to the meeting. And this will also inform our operation and maintenance plan for maintenance of the street lights. So that's as far as the street light is concerned. Number two, the RCC talked about the planning in relation to the connectivity of the road. I had the opportunity to meet the RCC. We discussed a few of the concerns you raised, and these are matters which I take on board. But the selection of the roads under use me that very clear criteria that is enshrined in the program operational manual. The key to this, number one, you prioritize the central business district because this is the center of service. Number two, you look at connectivity. Look at which was the road that I implemented before, previously, and then how does the old roads connect to the new roads. Then number three was the question of link to public facilities like the health centers, like schools, like some hotels from the tourism perspective. And then number three was look at the set of businesses. So that's a very clear criteria. But as I told the RCC, the setting of Arua compared to Gulu is a bit different in terms of as you enter the city, what really attracts and welcomes you is different. So the perspective is a bit different in that context. But I believe the team had a lot to do with the CBD, a lot to do with connectivity. But in the new Use Meet program, we are doing a lot to be able to select roads that have connectivity, roads that will look at the central business district, and roads that will look at the institutions that are there.
You summarize, we have to go to the field.
Then maybe the last one on quality control. We have the same consultant that supervised both Kitgum, Gulu, and Arua. And the principles of supervision are very clear in terms of quality control. Interestingly, USMID have an established laboratory that's actually at the operations of the consultant and the contractor. So the question of quality must be something I would guarantee, unless maybe the lack of supervision that we have here. So that's what I wanted to mention, but on the other side, I don't know, by design, maybe the Arua supervision was different, just to answer the honorable question. Usually there should be monthly meetings that involve all stakeholders, including the RCC, and then the site inspections that follows this. And this is an opportunity where all stakeholders will be able to see, will be able to comment, and this makes the coordination very easy. If this was not done in Arua, maybe these are practices we could carry on board in the future. Thank you.
Just sit your son, all right?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Minister. The issues that were raised, one was about connectivity of our road network. We have taken note of this. However, in the wisdom of Arua municipality, by then, the road network, the roads are not that good. That's why we are having short roads being worked on. However, in our wisdom of trying to bringing issues of connectivity, Inyau Road is connected to School Road and then to Lemirijua Road, and then it takes someone, it throws someone on Arua Primary Road. And that was the reason why it was done so, was to reduce on traffic on our main road, this side. About solar lights, I think the engineer has ably explained. And then on relocation of utilities, Madam Minister, our relocations have mainly been embedded within the contract, and when the contractor takes up the rehabilitation of the road, it's his duty to subcontract, because in the operational manual, there's a provision for subcontracting local service providers, so that we have BUBU in place. Additional roads that are going to be worked on include one that Honorable MP for Central Region did mention, and we call that Market Lane. Then we also have another Market Lane 1, which starts from that side of, it's what is called the Okokoro Park, that lane of Okokoro Park. And then Market Lane 2, that is where
Behind, in front of Tel.
Motel. Those roads are being worked on. And then we also have Kasaija Road. And the Kasaija Road will then connect to Industrial Lane. There's a small stretch which will then connect from Kasaija Lane to Idi Amin Road. That is the additional works that are ongoing. About supervision of works, we have monthly site meetings according to the operational manual. And those site meetings are mainly technical. And for the stakeholder meetings, we decided with the council that we have the stakeholder meetings in quarters. But then where we need the wider stakeholders, we do it once in a year. That is what has been happening, and that is what the town clerk reported that took place in July. Capacity building, we have been given guidelines on how to utilize capacity building. And the first component where capacity building is utilized is on tooling and retooling, where these furnitures are procured. Then we have the physical planning and urban systems. The furniture was procured under USMID.
This one?
Yeah.
How long ago?
This one was procured in 2017-18. 16-17.
The money comes once?
The money comes within the 5 years, the money is supposed to come in 4 years' time.
Once.
No, in bits.
How often does it come? In quarters, yearly?
The IPFs are allocated annually, but the allocation, the releases come per quarter.
So quarterly, what have you been doing with the money? You are just citing one item that you bought this furniture. So in other quarters, what have you been doing?
There are a lot of categories, yeah. Then we also have fiscal planning and urban systems, and
I'm not responding to the honorable member.
That capacity building thing, the money is coming quarterly. You just mentioned.
one of the components of tooling are the furniture. Then we also have the laptops, which are procured. We also have furniture elsewhere in other offices that have been procured. We have the heavy-duty photocopying machines, which we do not.
Seeing furniture in the city hall here. Other things are not. Madam CEO, I would want you to throw more light.
Throw more light on this capacity building funds. How much did you receive which one? You need to come here. Yeah. We need to know the figure, we need to know the period, and we need to know what you use this money for. Speaker, how many times have you received a report and the requisition in the council that this is what we have received and we have this work plan, we will want to execute these activities using this capacity building fund which has come? How many times? And what have you approved?
Honorable Minister, we had an extraordinary council just in October. The last extraordinary, I don't remember the month exactly. I wish my clerk council was here. We approved the money under USMID for institutional strengthening. However, at a later time, I think that was around
this year.
This year, early October, and we thought out of the fund that we approved, would they have some vote for passing an ordinance. We had the first reading, all our hope was in this particular money. But then we are told later on that this particular supplementary budget that we approved as the Arua City Council, that went to the ministry, was not approved. It wasn't honored. We don't know what is happening, and even the committees have refused to go ahead to execute their roles.
How much was that?
It was 313 millions. Thank you.
Yes, give to Madam.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Actually, there is a concern. Whenever we go to monitor USMID, the local governments do not talk about this grant. And it is believed that this grant has been greatly abused because nobody monitors it. Actually, when you look at the first USMID, these people people were given money to enhance revenue collection. And you wonder how a whole year could pass without getting property tax. And yet they were enhanced in these issues. These we need to have accountabilities for all the usement funds under this grant so that we know how this money has been utilized. Thank you.
Yeah, Silvio, you've had. I don't know what minister another properties because it's huge amount of money and from the findings everywhere since this money is abused because city leaders are not informed from what the speaker just said. We now know where we are. I wanted to ask the town clerk.